Welcome to the final Diamond Niner Fans podcast of the 2018 season. I'm Nick, here with Kevin as always.
What's up, Niner Nation?
And producer Brad, taking care of things behind the scenes. Go! There he is. Been a few weeks since we've recorded one of these. Kevin, how you been?
Been doing good. In full swing in summer weather, summer baseball, and just kind of living it up right now.
Yeah, for those of y'all who don't know, we don't have we have nothing to do with one another when we're not recording these. This is the only time we ever talk, so it's good to catch up with the family and all that. So we've been off. I don't even know how many weeks. How many weeks is it been? 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
It seems like a long. That was producer Brad with that drop in. It seems like it's been longer than that though. Lots happened in those last 2 weeks.
A lot happened. Yeah, last time we talked. It was right before I think it was Selection Monday, Memorial Day. Yep. Yeah. And we were talking NCAA regionals, and upcoming draft was coming up the following week. Mm-hmm. So yeah, a lot of stuff is going on between the last 2 weeks, and there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah. So let's why don't we start out? Let's when we last left you, as Kevin said, we was Selection Monday, and we were talking about the teams that got in from Conference USA and some of the Niners opponents that got in. Conference USA got 2 teams in, Southern Miss and Florida Atlantic. Why don't we take a look at how they did? Yeah,
Southern Miss, they were in the Arkansas regional. We knew all about them. They ended up going 1-2 in that regional. I think they beat Dallas Baptist in the first game, and then lost to Arkansas and Dallas Baptist, and went out of that regional. FAU, they were in the Gainesville regional with Florida. They ended up going to the regional final. They took them to the last game. They had to beat them twice. They beat them once. Florida went on to win that regional, and they ended up in the College World Series. Arkansas also went on to win their regional against Southern Miss, and they're in the College World Series. And tonight, first game of the College World Series finals, Arkansas's in that, and playing the Oregon Beavers.
Yeah, that's Oregon State Beavers.
Oregon State, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, we don't want Nike to sue us.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
And don't worry, nobody's listening anyways.
That's right. Oh, Brad's he's looking disappointed. There we go.
He's listening anyway.
There you go. We don't want. Well, Phil Knight might be listening. He might sue us.
He probably is.
Yeah, the Oregon State Beavers. So both our Conference USA representatives, they end up losing out to Omaha bound teams, and then hey, Southern Miss, don't feel bad. I mean, Arkansas is a tough team, and they may very well be on their way to the national championship. But not just anybody can beat Arkansas.
Yeah, okay? It takes a very special team to beat a team like Arkansas.
Yeah, it does. And for all the USM people that aren't listening, we understand the difference. Whatever, be quiet. So Arkansas and Oregon State playing for the national championship. One of those teams is going to come out. It's been some really entertaining baseball these last few weeks.
Yeah, it's a great time of year. I mean, you got to love the college game. These guys are true student athletes. You got the 11.7 scholarships for a 35-man roster, and a lot of these guys are paying a lot of their own way, and it's kind of still the amateurism that we all liked about college sports. But yeah, it's fun baseball to watch. I enjoy it, and we sit down and watch about every night we can.
It's really, and that is what has been, I think, changing the college game a lot, is the growth of the TV for it. I mean, going back, I don't know what would be fair, 10, 15 years ago, pretty much you didn't see college baseball as far as the NCAA tournament until you got to, TV-wise, until you got pretty much to Omaha, really.
Yeah, and it's come a long way. And did you see the ratings, the area ratings? Yeah, Charlotte market was like 4th in the super regional ratings, TV ratings. So yeah, there's a big market in Charlotte for college baseball, as we all know.
And I mean, let's face it. I mean, that's not only college sports. That's just everything these days. TV ratings. That's what drives the boat.
Right, and especially this market, college baseball. There is a market for it. You look at the college games that played uptown. Great crowds for those games, and it's nice to be a part of that.
Yeah, good stuff. So we had that going on, and we'll see who ends up coming out national championship on top. I guess we declare for Arkansas. I mean,
I kind of want to see, because I mean,
I'm not invested in Oregon State at all.
I was the other night. I was last week when they played another team from around here, but yeah.
But they were just like our hit man. I mean, we don't. Yeah. We don't invite them over for Christmas dinner. We wanted them to do a job, and they did it. Now we never want to see them again. Don't ever call me at this number. Right?
That's right. Well, Arkansas, I mean, it'd be nice if Arkansas would win it all. And because I think we're playing down there next year.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be a repeat of what we did in basketball when
2005,
when Syracuse won it all, and they invited us up for their banner celebration, and Bobby Lutz had a little different.
They hung their banner, and we hung an L.
Yeah, Brendan
right
Plavic,
around Jim Boeheim's neck.
Brendan Plavic still raining threes. I think he took over that Sports Center highlight that night.
Yeah,
so.
that was a fun night.
That was good. Hopefully that happens again next year for us. That'd be awesome.
Fun stuff. In the middle of all that, and there's been a lot of interesting discussion about that, about this very topic, actually. In the middle of the NCAA tournament, the Major League Baseball draft happens. And reportedly, we're going to talk about, because we had 2 guys drafted, so we're going to talk about that. But reportedly, there's even some talk in between Major League Baseball, and the NCAA to try to coordinate that a little better and get on the same page, and maybe even bring the draft to Omaha. I've heard that mentioned.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I think the only problem was that guys were playing on that Monday while they were getting drafted, and they were one day off, really. If they had started on Tuesday and no one would have been playing.
I think what Florida's coach was saying, that their guy was...
Florida was playing FAU that day.
Yeah.
FAU had some guys go, and Florida had some guys go, and they were one day off pretty much. If they had drafted them the next day, nobody would have been playing that day. You got the Tuesday... You got a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday right there between the regionals and the super regionals.
Yeah.
I think that's a perfect time for it. I'm kind of hesitant to push for them to put it in Omaha, because, I mean, when you get to Omaha, that's a big deal. You're trying to win a championship. And you got. But
they need to do something.
Think about it. If you get to Omaha and you don't want that distraction as a team.
You're right.
And especially.
But finding out that being in the dugout and finding out from some fan with a Twitter account, speaking as 2 fans with Twitter accounts. I mean, what would you do if we're sitting there watching the Niners play, and we look down in between innings and see that like, okay, Reese has been drafted. You're just gonna not say anything? Somebody's gonna say something.
Yeah, I know. You can't control everybody, and I know they have guys tell them if they wanted to be known during the game or not. So I don't know.
And the Florida's coach's point was that those guys should have had the chance to enjoy that with their families and been able to decide how they wanted to find out, instead of some guy with a beer and a hot dog saying, "Hey, you guys got drafted."
Yeah. Well, I think they're one day off.
Yeah.
If they have it Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you got it covered between the
24 hours would definitely would do away with that.
Yeah, so I think that's the way to go. I don't know about moving it to Omaha, like I said, but hey, at least they're working together, MLB and the NCAA. And this is a blanket statement, the more that MLB and the NCAA communicate about matters of importance that are between the 2 of them, I think that can only be good. Yeah, and I saw the Royals are going to play a game at Omaha leading up to the World Series next year. That's great. That's great to see. So, yeah, it's good stuff. Moving, growing the college game of baseball, and I mean, something I'm passionate about, and I hope to see it grow and keep growing.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about we did indeed have we had 2 new pro Niners. And so since we've recorded our last episode, not only had them drafted, but those guys they're signed and playing ball.
Yep, that's right. We had 2 guys drafted. Josh, he went on day 2. He went on day 2 to the New York Yankees, 10th round pick. pick number 307 overall. I was really happy to see that. But yet, being a Yankees fan aside, Josh is
and he was like, it's like when you're playing Monopoly, right? And you got to get all the different pieces like of all the same color. The Yankees were the AL East. That was the last piece we didn't have. We have every other team in the AL East covered. Well, so Josh went to the Yankees, and that was our last piece.
We still got the Rays. I don't know if you count them as still in the AL East. But
you're right. No, we do have the Rays, don't we? But nobody cares about them.
Yeah.
The Charlotte Rays?
Yeah, I think they're coming to Charlotte. But yeah, anyway.
You're right. We still don't have one.
It was great.
But I don't want any of our guys to have to get drafted by them.
Well, at least they would get to play for the Durham Bulls, hopefully. That would be
that's okay.
one
You're right.
positive about that.
I stand corrected.
But anyway, Josh drafted in the 10th round by the Yankees. It was great to see it. He worked hard this last offseason, built himself up. I mean, really built himself into a top 10 round pick, and he's a 4-year starter here, and kind of had some ups and downs, but he bounced. He definitely saved the best for last, and made himself a New York Yankee in the process. And he signed fairly quickly, and he got assigned to he's in the Gulf Coast League Yankees, the Gulf Coast Yankees East team right now, and you kind of expect him to ease into it, seeing he throw a lot of pitches for us this year and pitch a lot of innings. So
similar to Colton's trajectory last summer.
I expect to see something similar to that. He'll pitch an inning here, two or here and there. He's pitched. I think he's pitched in 2 games so far. Picked up a save today, actually, first save. Had a great outing. Pitched the last 2 innings, and picked up his first career save. So congrats to Josh on that.
Awesome.
Looking forward to following him through the Yankees, and hopefully maybe next year we'll see him up in Charleston or in the Sally League.
I guess the Sally League come through Kannapolis.
Yeah. And then the other guy we had drafted, Reese Hampton. He's a junior center fielder. He was drafted in the 12th round, 345th pick by the Detroit Tigers. Great to see him get drafted. And I've heard a lot of folks say he's probably one of the best center fielders in college this year.
Yeah,
especially defensively. He really had a great offensive season as well. So he had that leverage being a junior, and ended up being a pretty good signing bonus. I think he was a little bit over slot with that bonus he got. So it was good to see him sign and carry on those Pro Niners flag for us. He got assigned down to the Gulf Coast League as well. He's playing for the Gulf Coast League Tigers. I believe they're in Lakeland, Florida. That's their spring training site.
You might be right.
So he's down there. He's played about a week, I guess. He's been today. He had a great game today. He had a leadoff triple, scored 2 runs, stole home, and threw a guy out at the plate. So he's doing big things down there. Hopefully he can keep it going and get called up and bumped up to A-ball.
2 more guys that were not drafted out of high school that came out of our program that developed into draft picks.
Right, and
I think that seems to be our thing, and that's a good thing.
That's right.
It shows we're developing guys.
Yeah, you see guys like Colton Laws. He had a huge year last year, and put him in line to be a 7th round pick, and he started a good pro career. They bought into the guys like Josh and Colton. They bought into the program. Had great seasons. It's almost like they had very similar seasons, as dominant as they were.
Yeah, they really did.
And they stepped in to be the year before they're kind of a little above average, and then that last year they kind of just stepped up and been a dominant ace Friday guy. Don't
want to think about the last 2 seasons without them,
right,
doing what they did.
Yeah, I mean, we saw even at the beginning of this year, Josh was a Saturday guy, and he jumped into that Friday night ace role and rolled with it the rest of the way. But yeah, guys like those guys, they bought into the program. The coaching staff, credit to the coaching staff and strength and conditioning guys, all those guys for developing these guys into pro ball players, and they the credit to them too for putting the work in.
You think that gets mentioned on the recruiting trail?
Yeah, I guarantee. Yeah.
Yeah.
They buy into the program, put the work in, man. You can go from not being drafted to a top 10 round pick, top 12 round pick.
What is it that Lauren's always saying, and it's a great little line? Well, he decided he wanted to be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says that a lot. A guy's got to be, well, he decided he really wanted to be really good.
Yeah.
And put the work in.
Yeah, I mean, you can see what happens. When you buy in, good things happen. And these guys, they've shown examples of what they can do with when you buy in, and it's good to see. And I'm happy for all those guys because, hey, they put in the work. I know it for a fact all those guys put the work in. Yeah,
and it's fun to watch, fun for us too. So that's actually a good transition into what we're talking about next, because now we're up to, by my count, we got 6 guys, right? 6 Pro Niners.
Right.
We got 4 position players and 2 pitchers, and these guys from four guys last year, 2 guys this year. Our 4 guys from last year are half a season in to this first full season of their professional careers, and they're really doing quite well.
Yeah, all of them had great first halves. You mentioned Zach Jarrett. He's in the Delmarva in the Sally League. He had a great season up to this point and got voted to the South Atlantic League All-Star game. That was last week in Greensboro. Great to see him get recognition he deserves. He worked hard in the offseason. He's put up some pretty big numbers for Delmarva in the start of the season. I think he had 10 homers at the break, batting over 300 at the break. So batting the 3-hole now for Delmarva, playing center field. So he's played all 3 positions in that for Delmarva during this season, I believe, and he's just making himself more valuable to the organization. Hopefully he'll keep climbing the ladder because he's had a great season. Keeps it up for second half. Looking forward to see where he can go next year. Every year when we played here, every year he got consistently better.
Yeah,
and he put in the work in the off season, and he got better every season. And he was at the peak as his senior year with us.
So he and TJ came up together and were roommates at Charlotte. Then they both get drafted to the Orioles, and they spend their time together last year in Aberdeen. They start off both on the roster with Delmarva this year. We were looking forward to them both coming to Kannapolis, and TJ never got here. He got called up to Frederick, High A, Frederick, Maryland, and so his season's been kind of split, but still TJ's having a very nice season as well.
Yeah, I mean if he had been in Delmarva, I'm guessing he would be on the All-Star team as well at Sally League, but got called up kind of midway through and kind of was caught in the middle there. But he continued his hot bat between Delmarva and Frederick. Doing what TJ does. He scores runs, makes plays, just gets the job done. He's doing the same thing he did here, and he's doing it in Frederick. Batting over 300 for the first half, and just making some great defensive plays, and just being a solid switch hitting outfielder for him. He played center in Delmarva, and then he's played left. I know he's played left and some center for Frederick. So just hopefully he can keep climbing as well. He's had a good season so far. In the Carolina League, he's continued his success.
Yeah, and speaking of All-Stars, let's talk about Brett in the Carolina League. And I say speaking of All-Stars because Brett should have been an All-Star in the Carolina League, and he kind of got snubbed.
I think so too. I mean, we are obviously homers here, but we're not the only ones saying that. We see other guys throughout that organization have tweeted or mentioned that Brett kind of deserved that All-Star spot. So
the folks in the Red Sox organization and in Salem, they definitely felt like he deserved the nod.
Yeah, and
what we do, folks, is Kevin and I form opinions, and then we scour the internet to find people that agree with us.
Yep. And if they don't agree with us, we just block them.
We block them. That's right.
No, we've never blocked anybody. But yeah, Brett.
That's because everybody agrees with
us. That's right.
But yeah, Brett's doing. I mean, all three of these guys. But Brett's having a phenomenal season, playing second for the Salem Red Sox.
Yeah, I think he was what, third or fourth in the Carolina League in batting average at the All-Star break. He was like up there, like 10th or 12th in doubles. Lots of RBIs, and solid second baseman. Definitely deserved it, but I don't know. I don't want to mention any names, but
the guys that got it, they were having. It's kind of a log jam there at second in the Carolina League. So nothing against those guys, but hey, we're biased. It's what
we are.
That's our thing.
Well, we found somebody that agreed with us, so we're not.
We
biased.
did. We found people that agreed with us, so it's all good. So we talked about our new guys, the new Pro Niners, and we'll have to see by the time we come back to you in the fall, we'll know more about how they did. We'll have complete seasons on these guys, but at the All-Star break, at least we had three guys all batting over 300. Zach's an All-Star. TJ likely would have been an All-Star if he had been in one place the whole time, and we think Brett probably deserved the All-Star nod there in High A in the Carolina League.
Yeah, they're all batting over 300, like I said, and then we had Colton Laws. He kind of got a late start. He had a little shoulder injury.
Yeah, but
he's pitching for Lansing, the Lansing Lug Nuts.
The Lansing Lug Nuts.
He's living the Lug life. But yeah, he started out in mid-April. I think he came into the fold and started got him thrown into their rotation. Kind of up and down first half, but his last three starts of the first half, he was pretty much lights out. He pitched two shutouts or 2 games. He had 5 innings of shutout ball, and then I think his third start he gave up 2 runs, but he got W's in all 3 of those leading up to the All-Star break. So yeah, he was hot. He was hot leading up to the All-Star break, and hopefully he can continue that throughout the second half of the season. Maybe see a late season call-up for him. We'll see.
Yeah, I think what Colton has definitely been very good at times. It's what he's looking to establish that consistency and get it down. Yeah. But I mean, he can, as we saw up close, he can do it. You know? He's just got some things he's working on. Like you say, he overcame, some injury issues, and I think he's just kind of looking to get himself reestablished right now.
Yeah, and I mean, Justin, the pro hitters, he's still not walking guys. He's doing very consistent about throwing strikes and keeping the free bases to a minimum. So I mean, pro guys notice that for sure. It's good following him. Glad to see him bounce back from injury and have a good first half for the Lansing Lug Nuts.
Well, let's talk about we've had some adventures lately. Starting with I guess by now last week, we got a chance to go out to Kannapolis. Delmarva came in, and we got to spend a little bit of time with Zach Jarrett last week.
Yeah, the week right before the All-Star break, we let's see, Delmarva was supposed to come in to Kannapolis and play 6 games in 4 days. Mm-hmm. So we picked the Wednesday game. We went to see him, and got there early. Chatted with Zach. He was gracious with his time. He to chatted with him for a little bit. It was awesome gesture to see. He signed a ball for my kids and signed a few things for us, and just had a good time chatting with him. And the skies were clear as day.
The sun was shining.
Oh yeah, and he mentioned he said there's a game is under a delay, and
we both looking up. Going, what?
So yeah, they had pushed the game back 30-minute delay due to incoming weather, and it ended up being chaos after that. So long story short, we had an hour rain delay without rain, and then there was a actual rain came for about 15-20 minutes, and then tarp came off, and
was Trevor, our buddy Trevor?
Oh yeah, Trevor was out there with his He had his khakis rolled up and his shoes off.
Shoes off, tarp pull.
Man, he was all over it. But they just couldn't get that field playable for us.
He's got multiple tools.
He is a 5-tool guy.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, we couldn't get to see Zach in action. We were able to talk to him, which was really cool, and appreciate him taking the time for us. And it's always appreciated.
Autographs, pictures, just I mean,
chatting it up. It was awesome. Yeah, and good to see him. And he's a good kid for sure.
His folks were out there.
Yeah.
He had other family and friends out there. Just some of our guys were out there.
Yeah, talked to some of the Niners. Good to see them. They were in and out of summer ball, working the Lauren Hibbs camp a little bit.
It was kind of like a little. The season had been over long enough. It was kind of like a little family reunion going on.
Yeah,
out
it's
there.
awesome. It's awesome. Some folks that we've seen in the stands at the Hayes.
Hunter Jones's grandparents were out there.
They were hanging out.
We talked to them. It was like people we hadn't seen in a while, and
The Hartledges were out there.
yeah, it's just it was a little Niner. We missed. Here's the thing: we made one mistake in all that. One mistake. Talking about the Major League Draft being off by one day, we were off by one day. The day before that, Tuesday night, they actually played baseball. Okay, they actually played a game. Zach Jarrett actually got to go on the field to do something. And we missed watching the game with Sean Doty.
Oh, yeah, I know.
He was there Tuesday night.
I'll tell you what, and that would have been nice. That should be an auction item for next year.
Watch a baseball game with Sean Doty.
How much would you pay to watch a game with Sean Doty?
I mean, when you go to the auction, when you go to the Athletic Foundation auction, it'll say things like out there like a recommended price. Certain things just say priceless.
I think that's what it falls under that category. That would fall under that category, I believe.
Just to sit there and soak in the game next to Sean Doty. I think that would be certainly enlightening and possibly even educational.
I think both.
Or maybe it's educational and possibly enlightening. I think you'd learn something either way.
And it would be entertaining.
Yeah. I'm in for that. We need that auction item. For sure. Watch the game with Sean Doty.
Yeah.
So that's how we messed that up. But seriously, Zach was nothing but class. He was talking to everybody, just really gracious, and that's awesome to see. I mean, it's always good to see these guys, but I think he was genuinely excited about having everybody come out to see him.
Yeah, and you see Zach, he gets a lot of press for his family and stuff. There's a great piece by NBC. They did on Father's Day.
NBC Sports. Yeah,
they did a Father's Day special with his dad and his family, and but he deserves all the press he gets. Man, he's a good kid, and definitely proud to have him part of our organization and representing our university. He's a great representative, and can't say anything negative about Zach Jarrett. He's a great kid.
Yeah, for sure. So and then we go ahead.
Lauren, I think Lauren went out to saw him in Greensboro. And
I saw that.
A few other Niner fans were out there sending pictures to us and stuff, but weren't able to make it out there. But I'm glad. Saw a video of him, Zach playing catch with a kid in the stands during the middle of a pitching change. That was pretty neat.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Which, by the way, I'll put that plug in. We had some people send us some stuff. If you're ever out there, anybody's out there, don't, follow us on Twitter, do Twitter, or heck, you can email us stuff, whatever. We give that contact info out. Send us pictures, send us stuff. If you're out there, if you see, you take in a minor league game or summer ball game or whatever it happens to be, we're always looking for info or pictures or whatever about the guys, and we'll pass along anything that you pass along to us. So
summer ball, pro guys, recruit, whatever you want to send us, man.
Whatever you got. But yeah, really cool stuff. Speaking of cool stuff, Kevin was not able to join us on this, but me and my wife and daughter just got back yesterday from Salem. How long do you think I can talk about that, Kevin?
Well, we had an hour. We had an hour pre-show.
Oh, okay.
And we talked about it for about an hour. But
all right. Well, we got to do something really cool this weekend. Salem was hosting Frederick, so that meant that Brett Netzer's team was hosting TJ Nickting's team, and we decided to go up for the weekend. And the deal was, which if you know, I've probably mentioned this before. My daughter is the self-proclaimed president of the TJ Nickting fan club.
I'd give her that title as well.
Yeah, she elected herself. And she was all about going on this trip, but there was a price to be paid because her mother and I are both history people. We both teach history, and it was not going to just be a baseball trip. So I planned 3 different stops for 3 different days. On the way up, we stopped in Danville, Virginia, and hit a tank museum. I didn't tweet about any of that from Diamond Niner fans, but if you look at my personal Twitter account timeline from this weekend is just
it's pretty neat. It's
well, if you don't like history, it's garbage.
Who doesn't like history, man? Who doesn't like history? Your students?
There are lots of college students that do not, I have found. It's my job to try to make them at least tolerate it. But we stopped at a tank museum on Friday and saw, it's literally an un-air conditioned warehouse with tanks in it. I mean, it just I don't know how many they have. It was just we spent hours in there. It was awesome. And then Saturday we went up to the George Marshall Museum and Foundation at VMI in Lexington, Virginia. And that was really cool. And so there was a lot of cool stuff there.
You saw Nobel Peace Prize, right?
Saw the Nobel Peace Prize that George Marshall won for the Marshall Plan after World War II. A lot of his uniforms and all his medals. I mean, just on and on. There was they operate an archive there and a library, and periodically they clean stuff out of their library and they sell these books, these old books, and I haven't shown them to you yet, Kevin. I'll do it after the show. But Emily pulled me out of there before it got bad. I was buying books from the Marshall Library. Anyway.
Now they're in your library.
Now they're in my library, which is what I get excited about. Baseball and books, old history books. And then before we came home on Sunday, we hit the National D-Day Memorial in up there in... why is the name escaping my mind?
It's Virginia.
What'd I say? It's near Roanoke. I'm drawing a blank. It's my story, and I've forgotten half of it. Anyway, the National D-Day Memorial is up there, and it is this 88-acre site that is dedicated to nothing but the D-Day invasion, and it's phenomenal. There's a wall there with all the names of the 4,000 guys that lost their lives. It's just, anyway, I'm not going to get into that with you. I'll bore you all. Bedford, thank you. The reason that's in Bedford, I'll drop this piece of knowledge on you, and then I'm done with history for this podcast and probably all future podcasts.
I'm taking notes, by the way.
Okay, there'll be a quiz. There's a couple reasons that's in Bedford, Virginia. One, a survivor of D-Day was the longtime newspaper editor in Roanoke, and he helped bring that there. But Bedford, Virginia donated the land. Bedford, Virginia lost more men in the D-Day invasion per capita than any other place in the United States. They lost, I believe it was 20 men, and as far as I can tell, those 20 guys, a small town, right, in the Shenandoah Valley, those 20 guys all died in about 15 minutes.
Wow.
All hailing from Bedford, Virginia.
It's crazy.
So highest loss per capita. Anyway, enough of that. I should start another show, right?
That's my dad's been there. He's raved about it too. It's one on my bucket list to go see that too.
Yeah, it's neat. It's worth it if you're ever up that way. Anyway, so enough about that. All this was a ruse to go to Salem, Virginia, to watch Brett and TJ play, and we had a phenomenal weekend in Salem. It was just so, I mean, it was great. These guys started with Zach, right, talking about how gracious he was, and then these guys just did the same thing. We get up there, the game on Friday, series started on Thursday, game on Friday was rained out. And so we were waiting out. The start of that game was a little weird because we were waiting out the rain delay. Well, I'm tweeting about it from Diamond Niner fans, and the Red Sox radio guy responds and says, "Hey, are y'all here? You should come by the booth and say hello." And I'm like, that's something that people just kind of say. So I sent him a direct message, a private message, and was like, "You really okay with us stopping by?" He's like, "Oh yeah, come on up." So we go up there and spend just a few minutes with him talking, and everybody up there in the press box is bragging on Brett up one side and down the other, talking about what a great guy he is and how much they enjoy having him there. And so we do that. Finally gets the game going, get tarp off the field and everything. Check out the game. I believe that Friday night game was where Brett showed out. I think he was 3 for 4. And hit a triple that about knocked that wall down there in Salem. It was unbelievable. After the game, we're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. I'm like, Maddie really wanted to talk to TJ, and you don't know what's on these guys' mind. What are their responsibilities after the game? Well, we move over to the first base side near where the end of the visiting dugout, thinking maybe we can grab TJ for a few moments after the game. And game ends, Salem wins. And we were looking down towards the dugout, and TJ's head pops up out of the dugout, and he's looking around. He's looking for us because they knew we were coming. And he's like looking around. I'm like, oh, he's trying to find us. So we wave him down. He comes down. We just want to say hello to him. He stands there for 30 minutes and talks to us, and we catch up with him. And we're talking about the 49ers. We're talking about how things are going for him, all this business. Brett had some family in town. I believe his high school coach was there as well. He's wearing his Fort Mill baseball T-shirt up there in the stands. So I'm thinking, well, we probably won't see Brett tonight because I think he's got family here, and he's got his baseball coach here and all that kind of stuff. Sure enough, here he comes trotting across from the third base dugout. He comes over there, and now we've got them both. And they just stand there and talk to us like, man, can't believe, been so long since we've seen you. And it's just great. We talk about everything, whatever. TJ had said something online about he keeps up with his broken and thrown bat count, and he made mention of his broken bats. He'd give them away, and so Maddie found out about that. Maddie was like wanting a TJ Nickting bat, and I said, look, you're gonna have to you got to ask for it. If you want him to get you a bat, then you need to ask him the right way, ask him politely, and ask him if he'll let you have one. So he broke one during that game. We were sitting there watching. He hit a fly ball to right field, and it made that sound. You hear it. Yeah. And I elbowed Maddie. I said, "That's a broken bat. That's the broken bat. You got to ask him for that bat." And she asked him for it, and he's like, "Oh yeah. I'll tell you what. I think they've already taken him in. I'll give it to you tomorrow." Brett pipes up. I know you didn't ask me for one, but I'd like to give you one too. And she's like, well, that'd be great. And so, this is all going out Friday night. Saturday, we come back, we go to the game, and we're kind of thinking, we got a chance to talk to those guys. Well, we got to hook up with TJ because those guys came over after the game and spent like another half hour. We're consistently the last people walking out of the stadium. It's like the people cleaning the stadium and those two guys and us, and we're like, okay, well, I think they're getting ready to lock the gates, so we better go. Did that. They both brought our bats, and
got some cool pictures. I saw some cool pictures you guys had.
It's crazy. And then Sunday we got to see them, and ended up going on the field after the game and getting Maddie's picture with them and the whole thing. Anyway, I'm not telling y'all all this because I'm like special or anything. That's not the moral of this story, because the moral of the story is these guys are special. Okay?
Right.
These guys are special because we had no expectations about, we wanted to see them play. If possible, we wanted to say hello to them, and like that's it. That was our expectations. And it was like they just were just unbelievably gracious and welcoming. And I'll tell you, I think this is something, but whether it's what you're talking about, these guys, whether it's Zach coming to Kannapolis or going up to see these guys or seeing them in Greensboro, we made All-Star game, whatever. I think these guys, I mean, they genuinely, they like seeing familiar faces.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of homesickness. I mean, you're on the road a lot.
Yeah.
They're in a different town, seeing familiar faces, guys pulling for them. I'm sure that keeps them motivated, and it's a welcome sight when they see people supporting them.
Yeah, and I'm telling you this story. I mean, it was a great weekend. I could talk about how gracious these guys were and how awesome it was. I mean, I could talk about that for another hour. But my point I'm trying to make here is that if you've got a chance to go see these guys, I mean, if you're a Niner and you get a chance, they're coming by, or you're going to be in the area, whatever the reason is, I think you ought to do it. And something else I'll point out. These guys are not just doing this. I mean, yeah, they were glad to see us because we're Niners and talked to them before and stuff like that. But both these guys I was watching, okay, what roster size? What's the size of their roster? I don't know. What was it, 35?
25, something like that.
25, I think. The majority, and they're not obligated to do this, the majority of these guys, when they come out there, they're all business getting ready before the game, and then when the game's over, they're in the dugout and they're in the locker room and they're gone. On both teams, you've got a small group of guys, a small handful of guys that kind of sign some autographs and do that kind of thing. Okay? Brett, TJ, Zach, these are all guys that do that. Right. They're in the minority, but our guys are in the ones doing that. There were kids there every night wearing Orioles shirts at Salem, and TJ spoke to them and signed gear for them and stuff. The very first night we're there, I guess they have a promotion where local baseball teams can kind of have their year-end celebration at the ballpark, and they get announced. They announce the team. Brett's up on top of the dugout giving them high fives as they get announced. Okay? Yep. I mean, these guys, go see these guys. Yeah. They deserve it, man.
Yeah, like I said about Zach, they're great representatives of the university.
Yeah.
We had a chance to see Brett last year. My son, he still talks about it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, being a Yankee fan, I think he's, because of Brett Netzer, he's.
Well, you might just have to give that up, Kevin.
No, he likes the Red Sox. But beyond that,
you and Drew Garrison, you and your Yank. I mean, two Southern boys. You want to talk about a couple of Southern boys? You from Durham and Drew Garrison from Alamance County, bragging about your Yankees.
I don't do much bragging, man.
What's up with that? Y'all do when you're together.
Yeah, well,
y'all get together.
We got Josh now, so.
I guess that's all right.
But anyway, yeah, my son, he says his favorite ball player is Brett Netzer, and some of his other teammates are like, oh, they're listening like Trout and all these guys, and he's talking about Brett Netzer playing for the Red Sox. So it's pretty cool, and they definitely make an impression on the young kids for sure. And they made an impression on us too. I mean, they are great representatives of our university and great representatives of our baseball program, and our coaching staff and our team deserve a lot of credit for that.
Final thing I'll tell you about that. This will be my last story from this weekend. You can tell I'm excited about it. It was really awesome. I mean, it's just a great weekend. And I know y'all don't want to sit here and listen to me tell stories, but I'm going to tell you this one because it's to your point. I believe it was Friday night. Standing there talking to these guys, and some folks came up a dad brought his son over and wanted to get their autographs, and the dad says, we'd like to get you guys to sign a ball for us because you guys are both from Ohio, right? And Brett says, no, I'm not, but he is. And he says, yeah, I'm from Ohio. And that guy goes, oh, yeah, a Buckeye. TJ says, well, no, I don't. He his dad went to Xavier, right? He's like, nah, I don't really identify as a Buckeye. And then the guy says, well, yeah, I know. You guys both went to UNC. And like, I'm about to say something. Pretty much in unison, Brett and TJ both look at that guy and say, no, we went to Charlotte. I mean, in fact, they were like, no, we went to Charlotte. And I looked at Brett, I said, hashtag drop the UNC. And he goes, for sure.
That's right, man.
But that right there, these guys are not just great representatives. I mean, they're proud of where they came from.
Yeah, they put their blood, sweat, and tears in that uniform, and they represented it well.
I mean, y'all can see me. Those of you that know me, y'all can see me all set to like say something to this guy. I don't even get a chance to. They're like, no, we didn't go to UNC. We went to Charlotte.
That's right.
I'm like, yeah, boys.
We can add that to the name confusion log.
Yeah, add that name confusion log. So anyway, sorry, I did boring history stories, and then I go see these guys. That's all I'm saying. Is they like it and it's fun. You'll have a good time, I promise. Go check them out.
Yeah, I think TJ is going to be in Zebulon next week or so, and Winston-Salem shortly after that. The Carolina League, I mean, around here you got Zebulon, you got Winston-Salem.
The Dash.
And yeah, you got Myrtle Beach if you want to go make a Myrtle Beach trip.
Kinston.
Go see the old Wood Ducks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's definitely some drivable games in the Carolina League. But, yeah, great story, Nick. I'm glad you guys shared that with us. Had a good time up there. And
all these guys are just, I said, Zach last week, those guys this week, class.
I appreciate you and Maddie bringing me those bats, by the way.
Yeah, that's between you and her. She won't even let me hardly look at them. I mean, I'm serious. I kid you not. Okay, so she's got them, one in each hand. We got to take them to the car. Brett's, I mean, you saw it. It's got, I mean, these are both broken game used bats. Brett's is covered in pine tar. I'm like, here, let me carry the one with pine tar just so you don't. No. I mean, she was not letting go. So you talk to her about that.
All right. Well, tell her I appreciate it.
I'm not doing that. That's between y'all.
All right.
You tell her yourself. And make sure I'm not around when y'all have this conversation. But, yeah, good stuff. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
All right, back to our little outline here we made before the show.
We're still on it.
We are.
Yeah, we're still on it.
We want to talk a little bit about summer ball. I know some of our guys are playing summer ball. Or actually, most of our guys are playing summer ball this summer. A lot of good stuff going on. We're trying to keep you guys updated.
We try
to. It's all over the place, but yeah, we are.
And if you're, and that's a great spot right there. As far as, I know a lot of parents listen and stuff like that. If you know where guys are playing, we try to do everything we can, or you know about something they've done. We try to hit the highlights with guys, but. Some leagues are better than others. Some teams are better than others with posting box scores and stuff like that. And we comb them. We comb them every day and try to get. But we could definitely always miss stuff. So if you've got something or a photo or even some video or something like that, just
yeah.
The
CPL is pretty easy to follow. I mean, we got a lot of guys in CPL. They show their games live on their CPL website. But the quality, it varies from team to team.
Sort of like Conference USA.
Yeah, definitely. Exactly like Conference USA TV. I watched some of the Grizzlies. I watched some of the Copperheads and all that. So we got several guys on the Copperheads. Ashboro. We got Todd Elwood's out there. Jesse Gonzalez. Eli Ellington. Drew Morrison's out there. But yeah, several other guys in the
Dom's out there in Morehead City.
Oh, he's having a tough time out
Tough
there.
life there, Dom.
And
Going to Morehead City for the summer.
Yeah, I hate that, man. That's
I know you'll be glad to get back to Charlotte.
Yeah, he's in Morehead City Marlins. He's
awesome.
having a pretty good season out there. We got some guys in Gastonia, Tate Pennington, Tommy Bullock, Carson. He's got a couple saves this year. I think Tate was up there in top 5 or 6 in batting average
Tate's been doing pretty well. At one point, he was like second in the league batting unofficially because he was a game shy of qualifying. But he's still batting. I think he's batting about 330.
Yeah,
330 for the season so far.
Yeah, it's about getting reps at the summer ball, I guess, for those hitters, and they're getting them in, Tommy and Tate, and for the Grizzlies. You mentioned Dom. Shapinsky was listed for the Forest City Owls. I don't know if he's pitched yet this summer. Or not.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think he has.
Newcomer to the Niners, Jacob Whitley. He's catcher for the
High Toms
and High Point. He's had a pretty good summer.
Apparently he was, and he was somebody. He's a transfer from
Gardner Webb.
Apparently he was with. This was his year to sit out and was with us, and we didn't. Yeah, we don't notice everything, but apparently Jacob's going to be with us on the field or playing this year.
Yeah. Incoming Niner. Yep.
Yeah, incoming Niner.
I think that's about it. I think that's about it for the CPL. And then you got the Northwoods League. We got Drew Ober. He had like a 8 or 9 game hit streak to start the summer. Mm-hmm. He's been doing good up there. Chase Goodings is on the Bismarck Larks roster.
And I'm not sure that he's
Bismarck.
The Bismarck Larks. They missed an opportunity. Oh. What opportunity did they miss, Kevin?
And you know me, Bismarck.
They
Larks.
could be, if Frederick can be the Frederick Keys, that's TJ's team, they could be the Bismarck Keys. Gotcha, didn't I?
That was a good one, man. Good one.
Some of y'all know what I'm talking about, and some of you don't. Those of you that don't, good for you. That could be the Bismarck Keys.
Nobody beats the Biz, man.
But I could be wrong about that, but I'm not sure that he's made an appearance yet.
Yeah, I don't know. And then we got the Ripken League. We got a couple guys playing in Alexandria. Lansinger, he's out there. And one of our incoming guys, Alec Roberts, he was playing for him.
Yeah.
He's a high school guy out of the Virginia area. He was playing for him. And then for the Silver Spring Tacoma T-Bolts, Spencer Harrelson's having a pretty good summer out there in the Cal Ripken League. 2 or 3 starts he's had, and it's been pretty consistent.
As pitchers go, I think Harrelson's been the most consistent, the one most consistently out there in the game. He's a starter for them, and he's had some nice outings. And I got a chance to listen to a little bit of one of his starts, and their radio people were very complimentary of him on and off the field. So it sounds like he's in a pretty decent summer, and he could be somebody we definitely need to watch as we go into next year.
Yeah. He didn't pitch much for us this year, and so good to see him developing.
I'm pretty sure we redshirted, like he would be one of like 4 guys we redshirted, so he didn't.
Potential redshirt, yeah.
Yeah.
Then we got SCBL,
a local league.
You got a few guys playing for Mooresville Spinners. Chase Haywood, he's up there playing for the Spinners, and Connor Rudy. He's had a couple outings for them.
I want to say Chase has gotten in like a couple times too, but I'm not sure. The SCBL is one of those. Their box scores, they may be there and they may not.
Yeah.
If anybody's got any good SCBL, and they've gotten a little better from the beginning of the season, but
the rosters are changing a lot too. I know Sam Minute. He's another one that's SBL. He's playing for Vipers. He's
Sam's been doing a good job for the Vipers so far.
And what else we got? We got
Brooks is out in
Brooks is in Canada.
Yeah, what
Medicine Hat.
The
Medicine Hat Mavericks.
The Medicine Hat Mavericks. It's the WMBL. What is the WM?
Yeah.
I know it's the WMBL. It's got the little maple leaf logo in it. I don't know what WM stands for.
I don't know, but
I'm thinking BL, baseball league.
I know I know that he just had a start last night and did pretty well. But it's a shame. There's a team in that league called the Brooks Bombers.
The Western Major Baseball League, Canada's premier collegiate summer league. That's what the website says.
They got some pretty cool names in that.
They
league.
do.
But yeah, there's a team called the Brooks Bombers.
What about the Edmonton Prospects?
Yeah,
it's a Norm-looking guy holding a big pickaxe.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool logo. Yeah, they got some cool team names up there, and
the Medicine Hat Mavericks.
Yeah, it's only like 3,000 miles away, but
yeah, Matt, we apologize. We have not been to see you play. Probably not going to either.
Yeah, unless
we'll wait till you're back here on campus.
What else we got? We got the Keene Swamp Bats. Jake Wickham's out there, and I think his grandfather is out there as well, up there.
Lives there.
Yeah, and they said, and that's in the Northeastern Collegiate Baseball League.
Yeah.
And
the New England. New England baseball league.
New England. Sorry,
same difference, right?
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I follow their.
New England, Northeast. I'm from North Carolina. What's the difference?
There's big difference. Yeah, they got some. They're pretty good on updates up there. They got pretty cool following them, and they say.
Sounds like maybe the newspaper, the local photographer is like friends with his grandfather or something, because all the pictures he takes are of Jake.
Well, that's good. But yeah, his grandfather, I think he's like a general manager for the organization, or he works for him in some capacity. But yeah, it's pretty cool seeing the stories from up there, and they said they treat the Swamp Bats like the Red Sox in that town, so it's they back it out and
wow,
have pretty good crowds out there. So it's
small towns. I love small towns. Just do stuff like that, man. Where they support. That's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, it's they love baseball too, man. So it's pretty neat.
Awesome thing.
But what else we got, Nick? Covington Lumberjacks. J.C. Oates is playing. He's on the roster in the Valley League. So
yeah, and we changed his name to Outs. Remember?
Oh, that's right. You did.
No, we did. It was a we thing. Don't throw that on me.
Well, I'm just going by the pronunciation guide.
Well, I mean,
you changed it. Okay.
Nobody consulted with us on the pronunciation guide. What's up with that?
All right. Yeah.
We'll track down his mom and dad and have a talk with them.
We'll keep updating on summer ball. If we miss something, please. I mean, we have missed things before. Please send it to us.
All the time, actually.
And we'll get it out to the masses. But yeah, it's exciting following these guys in pro ball and summer ball. So trying to keep everyone updated on that. And
it's good stuff. Summer ball is what it is. It's guys getting reps, like you said, and just seeing where they're going to, kind of keep going and work on some stuff, get some stuff cleaned up. But really, I mean, before you know it, when you think about it, I mean, these guys are gonna be back on campus.
Yeah,
real soon.
Yeah, and it's we got a lot to look forward to. Lots of good things going on with the program right now. We got that indoor facility. Saw some pictures of that coming up. The walls are up, and it'll be up going in the fall. We got a lot of guys coming back. I think we got 7 out of 9 position players coming back in the lineup. Got a lot of guys that didn't play last year that are chomping at the bit for some playing time, and there's going to be a lot of competition in the fall.
I think the key word for this fall is going to be competition.
Yeah, I think so too.
Competition.
It's going to be it's going to be fun in the fall, and we'll see what pans out. And pardon the pun, but we got a lot of guys, a lot of good ball players on the roster, and interesting to see what pans out. Look at the schedule. We don't have the schedule yet, but we know we're opening up at home with Delaware. We go to Arkansas for our outer conference series next year. But the new NCAA rule where they allow fall games, I wonder if we'll capitalize on that.
Yeah, and we haven't heard anything about that yet. The NCAA approved that during the season this year. Usually in the past we've played teams from Canada. Who was that we played? We played last fall. Czech Republic. We play all these. The NCAA has finally taken the very reasonable step of allowing you to play 2 games in the fall against other college baseball teams, and they don't count towards your 56 games in the spring. So that starts now. That's live for this fall. We have no idea if we're going to play and who we're going to play. I'm sure the coaching staff is already working on that and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully, at least one opportunity for us to go to the Hayes in the fall and see a live action game, against another college team. I'm sure it'll probably be a regional opponent, somebody that can come in
for the day and come back. Yeah,
somebody that can bus in. So
I know we were trying a couple of years ago. They were trying to get High Point with the fall exhibition. It was going to count against us, but I think they wanted to get. They were saying they wanted to get a game under their belt as a coaching staff because it was new. It was for Doty's first year.
Yeah,
but that ended up getting rained out. So that's probably a good candidate.
You got all kind of schools, right? The Big South opponents and Southern Conference,
Yeah.
We'll and maybe it'll be one at the Hayes and one somewhere, on the road or something. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. We're just speculating. But anyway, I'm excited about it. It'll be cool because with all this competition, it'll be a good chance to see these guys get on the field and show what they got.
That's right. Yeah, and there's gonna, like you said, it's gonna be competition, and it's gonna be good to see. Competition is good for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm excited for another reason now that my son is at Lauren Hibbs baseball camp, and he's
getting coached up.
Oh yeah, he's getting coached up, man.
He's finally getting some good coaching, is he?
He finally is. after enduring
that loser he played for this year.
After that enduring a season under me, he's finally getting some real coaching.
Did they fire you?
It's a volunteer spot, so I don't know if you can get fired from a volunteer
spot.
Oh,
absolutely you can.
Oh, well, I don't know who would fire me, but I haven't been yet.
Hey, we can get fired off of this show. I mean, when you get right down to it, I don't know how we haven't gotten fired off this show yet, but we haven't.
The ratings are too high to fire us, man.
That's right. Intercontinental podcast.
Yeah. Kenya was the last. Kenya and Brazil?
Kenya and Brazil. Yeah, that's right.
I got a feeling we'll be going to Canada again. Now we're talking about the Medicine Hat Mavericks.
Oh, for sure. The Maverick Nation will be all over this. There's no doubt about it. You think?
Oh, yeah. We're international, man.
Yes, we are. And we rename players. We rename teams. We do
whatever we want to.
Whatever we want to. That's right.
We're not forcing anybody to listen.
Just producer Brad.
Oh,
we actually have producer Brad held hostage here.
Brad, wake up.
He's ready to go home and go to bed.
We're almost done.
Him hostage. We're almost done. I promise we're almost done. Here's the last thing we're going to say to you. This is our last podcast for what we're going to call this first season 1 for the 2018 season. It's been, I mean, we're only doing this in case you haven't figured it out yet. If you're thinking, why are they doing this? We're doing this because we have fun with it. And maybe if anybody's still listening, you guys have some fun with it as well. We've had a big time. Producer Brad is, he's telling me to keep going. Did you just hit the wrong button? No. But let me guess, they can't hear that? Oh, he started playing our exit music. It's like at an award show. Like at an award show where they start playing the music. You're trying to be pulled off, so y'all can't hear that. So anyway, it's all good. We've had a lot of fun doing this. Appreciate y'all listening. it's crazy how many, something like, I think about 1,800 clicks, several hundred hours worth of time listening to us, tons of states all over the country, international, as Kevin just said. I have no idea why anybody in Kenya or Brazil would click on this, but awesome that they did. A lot of fun. We are not done. This has been a lot of fun, and we plan to come back. We'll probably do a first episode of season 2 in the fall, just to do fall. Talk about the summer ball up, how the summer ball went. We can update the Pro Niners from their season. We can talk about our incoming guys that are on campus now, and maybe set up some of these games. We'll figure out what we're going to do for you. Yeah. Just keep an eye on that with Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff.
Yeah. We may have a few other things we come out with during the off season, but we'll definitely be back in the fall for a preview or fall review preview, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, this is not exactly a very professional closing here, but we in our own strange way, we're saying this has been a lot of fun. We appreciate you guys for listening and all the feedback, and we're going to try to keep doing it for you next year and do some fun stuff. So and continue to try to do it even better, maybe.
Can't get much better than this, man.
You're right. Who am I kidding? So what we're going to do, if you need to reach out to us, we're not hard to find. Twitter's a great way. Diamond Niner Fans on Twitter, Diamond Niner Fans on Facebook, or diamond9erfans@gmail.com if you want to email us. Like I say, we're not that hard to find. We'll keep you updated out there on the interwebs on various 49er baseball activities. Any closing comments, Kevin? This is season 1, man.
Yeah, I appreciate everyone listening, all the feedback. We enjoy putting it out there and enjoy covering the program, enjoy following these guys, and hope you guys enjoy it too.
Yeah, we don't know why you're listening, but we're glad you do. All right, for that, for Kevin and producer Brad, I'm Nick, and hey, in the fall, we're going to see you at the Hayes.